This is One-on-One. Mathieu Nelessen is Regional Chief Executive Officer, American Red Cross, North Jersey region. Good to see you, Mathieu.
Thanks for having me.
And we're doing this program during the holiday season. However, this whole question of this Hurricane Sandy, the devastating impact, American Red Cross, you were getting ready 5 days before, but could you have ever really been ready for the devastation, destruction that hit?
I don't think this is one of those scenarios where, you do these tabletop exercises and you think worst case scenario, this is what it could look like. I think this was one of those worst case scenarios that we played with on paper and that organizations like FEMA, the state, played with on paper. But the reality of it, I think, has really come up and really struck people and taken people aback.
What makes it, by the way, as we put up the website for the American Red Cross, the purpose of this program, you saw the First Lady on the first segment of this program. This entire program is dedicated to trying to be as helpful as possible to those who are helping those who are most in need. You're going to see the American Red Cross website. Go on the website. By the way, when people go on the website, what can they do? How can they help?
They can donate, they can volunteer, they can give blood, they can learn about being prepared, they can learn about building a kit for their home and their community. I think those are the top messages.
Go back to the blood part. That's important. Why?
Very important. So right now, Red Cross represents 40% of the nation's blood, and New Jersey, shockingly, only has about 2% of the New Jersey residents give blood. So the blood supply right now is low.
Why do you think that is, by the way?
So I think it's an awareness question. 1 pint of blood saves 3 lives. It doesn't take a long time. There's blood donation centers set up throughout the state. This is critical. This is a critical issue, and this is a healthcare issue. This is a larger healthcare issue, larger than the Red Cross.
Long term, okay, you have a close relationship with FEMA, the role of the federal government, Federal Emergency Management Agency. What exactly is the Red Cross's relationship with FEMA? What are you doing?
So we have a phenomenal relationship at the federal level with FEMA. I think that relationship cascades down to the state level. So what we do is we provide sheltering, housing, food, mental health support in the immediate aftermath of an emergency. And we will provide shelter until the need is no longer there, at which point FEMA really comes in and takes care of short and long-term housing. So we are really in a true partnership with FEMA, and FEMA has been fantastic in response to this disaster.
I'm also curious about this, Mathieu, because we had the First Lady on talking about the new initiative the state is involved, the governor and the First Lady, Senator Bradley involved. And we'll also be talking to folks from United Way. There are different organizations out there. How do you avoid nonprofits who are in the helping others business stepping and tripping on each other?
Yes, I think that's a huge philosophical question that New Jersey is
going to
really...
practical question.
Very practical, but New Jersey is going to have to answer because there's 30,000 registered nonprofits in the state of New Jersey. The Red Cross is fairly unique, both with our brand, our trust, the loyalty that we have in terms of brand awareness and trust, and the service that we provide are pretty unique in terms of housing and sheltering and food. So I think the Red Cross's role has to be a convening role because of those things that I just mentioned. I think we have to be the organization that sits as the convening body that helps to get everyone at the table to talk about duplication of services.
So you think there's something special about the Red Cross that is, no disrespect to others, you think there's something, other organizations, you think there's something really special about your organization?
I do, because we also have this congressional mandate that we're congressionally mandated to respond to disasters, but yet we receive no federal funding. So we have a seat at the
highest table. Go back, you just can't go past that.
Oh.
The United States government, through Congress, has mandated that you respond. You must respond.
Yes.
But you get no federal money?
Right, right.
How does that work?
So
they say go out and raise the money privately?
Exactly. We raise the money through private individual donors, foundations, and corporate partners. So we receive no state or federal funding.
The government says you must do this, now go out and raise the money.
Right. Exactly.
Well, what happens if you say, wait a minute, economy's tough, which it is, people are struggling, which they are, and we don't have the money? We can't do it.
I think at the core of it, we would do it anyway because we're the biggest humanitarian organization in the world. So even if someone said, we couldn't pay you to do this service, at the core, the founding principles of this organization are to provide humanitarian support. And we'll do that regardless of the situation, the economic forecast. The Red Cross will be there to service the needs of the community.
Break it down a little bit more. I want to remind folks, specifically, as you see the website for the Red Cross, the money goes to what again?
So we start out in this response with sheltering, We provide food. So right now we've delivered over 4.5 million meals to New Jersey residents alone to date since the 30th. So that's
since the 30th of October, and we're doing this program at the end of November. A month from now, it could be twice that much.
Easily. And not only are we doing food, we're doing bulk distribution items. So we're talking about blankets, cleanup kits, masks, gloves, rakes, materials people would need to kind of get back to some sense of normal in terms of cleaning up, in terms of being prepared, hygienic products. So we have a 6-acre warehouse that we again sat up, 2 days before this event, and we have millions upon millions of pallets that are going out on a daily basis. So just yesterday I got a call from 50 FBI agents in Newark that are coming to pack boxes for us in Franklin Township and deliver bulk distribution routes, which are going on throughout the state and will be ongoing for the long term.
Particularly bad down the shore.
Very bad on the shore. The destruction, I think, is something that folks have never seen. I mean, you could look to your right and to your left and not see a house. You could see new inlets. You can see homes that were on bridges. You can see cars on roofs. I mean, the destruction is immense.
What impact has it had on you personally?
I think when you go out and you go into some of these communities, you go into Sayreville, you go in with the mayor of Perth Amboy, and you go wrap blankets around families who are on day 10 without power, who don't have the resources, who don't necessarily have a voice, and you can physically touch the mission. I mean, that's what you do nonprofit work for, is to be able to truly deliver the mission in its purest sense. And seeing the humanitarian work, seeing New Jerseyans come together, I think has been one of the most remarkable things.
Matthew, on behalf of everyone here on the Family Public Television, I want to thank you and your colleagues at the Red Cross for everything you've done, everything you're doing, everything that you'll continue to do. Folks, we're not going to turn this into a telethon, but you know why we're doing it. Because we're using this medium to let you know who's out there doing the important work. The rest is up to you. You see the website on your screen. We'll come back right after this talking more about those who are suffering and dealing with Hurricane Sandy and those who are helping them, and finally, what you can do about it. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, founded by the Jewish community, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. Wells Fargo. Cohn Resnick, Forward Thinking. The law firm of Gibbons, P.C. And by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey. And by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.